The FrostyFest Special Splatfest is with us, and with it comes a whole bunch of new features and updates that I think you'll all want to know about. As it's a special Splatfest, things are on a much larger scale than they usually are, so we get treated to a lot of extras. So I'm going to run down everything new that you need to know about the FrostyFest. If you're excited, leave a like and let's jump right into this. Starting off, something really interesting is there seems to be a sort of frost effect overlaid on the screen when you're in the plaza. Now, I haven't actually seen this in battles, I don't believe it's there, I'm pretty sure it's just in the plazas, but we haven't really seen anything else like this as far as I remember. Maybe Splatoon had a sort of effect like this, but this one is definitely a lot more noticeable in my opinion, it's very prominent. I'm kind of glad they didn't put it in battles because it could be a little bit distracting. It's definitely very noticeable, I feel like, but I like it. Hey, it just makes this feel even more special. It is a special Splatfest after all, so it's quite nice to see. It does make me wonder what other types of overlay effects they could use with other special Splatfests in the future. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but for now this one is definitely very appropriate given it is a FrostyFest, so yeah, I quite like this effect a lot. As you're walking around Splatsville, or Inkopolis I believe, you should notice many of the jellies. However, did you notice that they're actually wearing cute little party hats to celebrate the special Splatfest? We've seen this with the other special Splatfests in the game, but it's a detail I always like to point out just because it's so cute, and I feel like the jellies often get ignored. People tend to miss them. You can see all the other characters wearing little party hats too, which is appropriate, given that this kind of ties into the new year as well, although I do believe it's party hats for every special Splatfest, so it's not unique to this one. But it's still a cool little detail feature that I thought you'd want to know about. Definitely have a walk around the plaza and see which characters you can find wearing these little party hats. There's more than you might expect. It just really makes things come alive, especially with the fact that you can see everyone wearing their special Splatfest headgear as well that was distributed via the Nintendo News tab. Now, one thing I'm sure a lot of you will notice is that there is some special FrostyFest music playing in different areas of the game for the event. I absolutely love that Nintendo has been doing this with the special Splatfest. We did get some really cool soundtracks for Splatoon, which I absolutely loved, so it's fantastic that FrostyFest is getting some too. I love the music of Splatoon, as I know many of you do. We have so many music fans who obsess over the music of the game, so it's always great when we get special music. And there's lots of different instances where you can hear it. I believe, for example, you get special jingles when you talk to certain characters and such for FrostyFest. So I feel like it's really interesting to go around and see if you can find all of the different music which they've added in particularly for this event. As after all, once FrostyFest is over, you won't really be able to listen to it again unless they repeat the event. I can't remember if they add these to the jukebox or not, so I guess that would be another way of doing it. Or, of course, YouTube, you know, like you're on right now. But in terms of it actually playing regularly in the game, it's of course a very limited time thing, so listen out. As we continue to walk around the Splatsville Plaza, you'll probably notice that there is a ton of special graffiti laid around for the event. For example, you can see it overlaid on the stairs, that's a really good example, but there's also lots of little pieces of graffiti as well that are themed after FrostyFest. I know some people are really into spotting all the graffiti, so there's a lot of different ones you can notice here. Once again, this is something I really love that they do. It's just a small little detail, but graffiti has always been a big part of Splatoon, so I love that we do get some special and exclusive graffiti for FrostyFest and the other special Splatfest. I believe you can even notice some of it when you're in battles too, especially at the end screen, you can see some more of it. So yeah, there's just a ton of really cool graffiti laid around, which just helps add to the atmosphere of the event. Of course, the main decorations are the main attraction here, but we all know about those, so I wanted to point out the graffiti since I feel like a lot of people do tend to miss it in particular since it can be quite small. Now, one thing that I was so incredibly excited about that they brought back from Splatoon 2 is the glittery ink. I absolutely love this. This has to be one of my favorite little features that we get, particularly with this one. We did get an interesting type of ink with Splatoon, and I believe some other special Splatfest will have different kinds of ink, but this one is by far the best in my opinion, and I honestly wish we could have glittery ink all year round. Especially the gold one looks really cool in my opinion, but honestly all of the options look great. I just love it so much. I love special things like this where literally for only 3 days out of the year, well, I guess technically 2 unless you count the evening of the Friday, we only get this for that short amount of time, so it's something that I really want to enjoy whilst it's still here. It just makes all of the battles feel that much more exciting because you're seeing something new on your screen that just looks really cool. I would love if we could keep it or just have an option to see it on our screens, you know. Some more customization options for our ink would be absolutely amazing, although I don't know how that would work exactly. But yeah, I love the FrostyFest ink. Let me know which of the colors is your favorite down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Like with the other special Splatfest, you will notice some special effects when you load into battles, which I find very cool. The ones for FrostyFest in particular are sort of snowflake themed, which again does make a lot of sense. I just love how they look, and again, I love that Nintendo has kept this up for all of the special Splatfests that we've gotten so far. Believe it or not, there was even one for the Deep Cut Splatfest, although it was a lot more subtle than these ones. You don't really get snow appearing throughout the whole matches or anything like that, which would have been pretty cool in my opinion. No pun intended there, but you do get some little snowflakes right at the start of the match as you kind of spawn in, which is definitely a really nice detail that I like a lot. Like I mentioned earlier with the graffiti that you can see in the game, you do get some of that at the end of battles too, and some of those other effects that I mentioned, like little snowflakes and such. So there's definitely a lot of special decor that you get with this FrostyFest that I think really adds to the event and increases the atmosphere of it a lot. I did want to mention briefly at the end of this video that the tricolor map for this particular Splatfest is Crab Leg Capital, which happens to be one of my favorite maps in the game. I do feel like this one suits pretty well, although in my opinion Ship-Shape Cargo Co would have worked a lot better given the fact that that is actually a sort of icy themed map. I would have loved it if we got some actual special maps for the particular events, but it seems like that isn't something that Nintendo is interested in doing, except that one random time where they gave us the Zelda one that was incredibly cool. Either way, definitely look out for this one when the tricolor battles become available, because in my opinion, Crab Leg Capital does give some pretty good matches. So yeah, FrostyFest is shaping up to be a really exciting event so far. I'm absolutely loving it. I really enjoy the special Splatfest in Splatoon 3, and I feel like Nintendo has done a good job. They did of course start off in Splatoon 2, but I feel like they've honestly been improved drastically here in Splatoon 3, especially given the fact we can also visit the Inkopolis Plaza and experience the event there too. It just means there's so many more places to check out and so many details to enjoy, which is something I always love in Splatoon. But let me know how you're enjoying the event so far down in the comment section below. I'd also really love to hear what team you've chosen. I did go with family, as you can see on the screen, just because I love that gold ink color, but I was also so tempted to pick solo as well because that ink color is so unique and really interesting, so it was definitely a hard decision. Let me know your thoughts on what you like the most down in the comment section below. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more Splatoon news and content.